Hey everybody, this is Nick from Fulcrum. We're still here at IMTS. I'm here with Chris Luecke. We're hanging out and wanted to spend just a couple minutes with Chris to get his take on how everything's going. But for those people that maybe don't watch or listen to your podcast and aren't familiar, how are you involved in manufacturing? What are you doing and how did you get your start?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. So I host a podcast called Manufacturing Happy Hour. It's really a leadership podcast disguised as a manufacturing podcast. We take on the biggest trends and technologies that impact modern manufacturers, and we have it in a very casual, candid way, right? The whole idea behind Manufacturing Happy Hour is it's like, hey, you're talking about this over a drink with someone.
Yeah, nice. And you're at IMTS 2022. We're back together in person. What's your take? Like, what have you seen? What are you looking for? Like, how's it been?
So when I go to conferences, I pay a lot of attention to the vibe. Like, what's the energy? How many people are here? What are the events like? What are the booths like? What type of conversations are taking place? I really look at that because I think that shows where we are as an industry in a lot of ways. And to describe what I feel like the vibe has been here, I've seen a lot more storytelling, a lot more modern, let's say modern marketing, for lack of a better word. I'm seeing more content creators. I'm seeing more diversity in our industry. We still have a long way to go, but I'm just seeing things trending in the right direction as, you know, someone that started in this industry about 10 years ago. So those are some of my general observations of what I've seen out of IMTS so far.
Nice. And I know there's the Creators Lounge that you were maybe a part of, and how's that been? I was curious about that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a very tangible example of the storytelling that we're seeing in this industry, right? Like, now we recognize that there are voices out there that are not only telling their own story, but helping companies, helping the industry tell its story as a whole, because we know there's a large workforce issue right now. So that's helping get the word out about those important topics that manufacturing leaders need to be considering as they're running their businesses and finding ways to get ahead of those problems. Because these aren't like this quarter, next quarter problems. These are multi-year problems that we need to be taking a very strong, proactive approach to.
Yeah, makes sense. We think about the future a lot. I know you do too. Like, if we think about maybe cast it out to the next IMTS, what's happening? What does the future hold for manufacturing domestically, abroad, however you think about it? Like, what does the future look like? What changes are you on the lookout for?
Sure. So I got my start in manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Spent basically my whole career in the automation industry. So my answer is always towards automation, I should say, right? And that's what we're seeing more of. We're seeing more, I shouldn't say, we've seen a lot of automation for years, but we're seeing more companies adopt it. We're seeing more small to medium-sized businesses find ways to take advantage of it. There are business models out there now, like robot as a service, machine as a service, that allow people to make that investment that once was, let's say, too big for some of these companies. So more automation, to put it simply, right? I know it's kind of a very canned answer, but I shouldn't say canned answer, but a very simple answer. But I think that's what we're going to see, especially as we do more onshoring, more companies making things here in the U.S. and speaking from a North American perspective here. But those are some of the trends I see.
Yeah, nice. Well, I know you're a busy man, and there's a lot to see here. One final chance to plug the podcast. Anything else you want to share with folks? How do people tune in?
Sure, yeah. So if you want to connect with me and you want to connect with Manufacturing Happy Hour, LinkedIn is a great spot to do that. You can catch Manufacturing Happy Hour on all the podcasting platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and follow us on social media as well. Instagram, Twitter, MFG Happy Hour is our handle in both of those spots.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, Chris, and have a great show.
Thank you.